Namaste. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Kristyn Rose, and in this video I'm excited to guide you through a yoga posture known as Pavanmuktasana, which translates more simply as wind relieving pose. This is a really beautiful posture that we can explore in a supine position, so on the back of the body, and it has a really grounding effect in this way. But as well, we're really diving into exploring flexion and extension through the hip joints, and maybe even a little bit of external rotation. This is a very beginner-friendly exploration and really an experiential yoga asana clinic. So I invite you to take a few moments here to reach for anything that you might need. If you enjoy taking extra support down onto your yoga mat, you can even lay a second mat on top of your mat or take a nice thick folded blanket and you can place that down on top as well, really just to support the back of the body anytime that we are in a supine position. So when you are ready, let's begin. And I'd like to start off by just extending the invitation for you to really just trust your body, know that your body is your best teacher, and that my offerings are simply suggestions. So listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, I guarantee you that it's probably not. So to really just move in a way that feels really good and supportive for your own body in your own practice today. As well, if you have any history of injuries in the low back or the hips or the knees, any sort of contraindications at all, please be mindful of that and just take it nice and slow. So when you are ready, we will come down into a supine position. So supine meaning on the back of the body. Nice and slow, you can just sort of recline all the way back and down. Let's begin with hugging the knees up and into the chest. You can take your hands to support your knees here and just rest the head and the back body down. You might just begin to rock the knees from side to side. Starting to massage the low back, the sacrum, the bone at the base of the spine. You might even trace your knees in the shape of a little circle, sort of massaging around the sacrum or the sacral area. Just being really intuitive here. There's no rush. You might even close down through the eyes or soften your gaze and just begin to bring awareness to the places in the body where you feel sensation. If you're circling the knees in one direction, just start to organically move in the opposite direction just to find balance. Beautiful. Bring your knees to center, and I'll invite you to take both hands, interlace your fingers, and hug the right knee or shin up and into your chest, and let the left foot fall down to your mat. Now you can stay here, keep the left foot grounded, or you can extend the left leg long onto the earth or even onto a yoga prop, like a bolster or a pillow. You might bring a gentle flex into the left foot if the left leg is extended, so the left leg is gently active. And even lift the chest, tuck the shoulder blades under, and draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. So we find a nice long spine here, even though we are reclined. And then start to gently draw the right knee up and into the chest. Coming into Pavanmuktasana, Pavanmuktasana, wind relieving pose. And just begin to settle into stillness here, finding the shape. So we're inviting flexion into the front of the right hip, that fold, that crease, and then extension across the front of the left hip. And now, as you settle in, you might feel called to rotate the right ankle. Bring a little bit of sort of dynamic movement into the posture if you choose. You might feel called to track the right knee out towards the right side ribs, creating a little bit more space here. And just notice how even that might change the sensation. You can even bring in a little bit of movement, maybe rotating the right knee, a little circular motion. But eventually allow yourself to find stillness, and we'll just take a few deep belly breaths here. Feeling that gentle massage for the low belly against the right thigh. Long, slow, smooth, deep breaths here. And so in this posture, we begin on the right side body to really work with the natural flow of energy and digestion in the body from right to left side. So really following that pathway of ascending, transverse into descending colon. Deep belly breaths, massaging the vital organs. When you feel good and complete, you can begin to bend the left knee. Let your right foot come down to meet your left. You might bring both palms to rest on the low belly and just take a moment here to notice. Notice any difference between right and left side body. And then we'll come to the other side. So start to draw the left knee up into the chest. You can interlace your fingers. Maybe take a reverse dominant grip. Make you think a little bit. So you draw the left knee in. Again, option to keep the right knee bent, right foot grounded, or extend the right leg long onto the support of a prop or onto the earth. If right leg is extended, a little flex of the right foot. You might feel your right calf press down into the ground. And then begin to draw the left knee up and into the chest. Maybe bring in some rotations into the left ankle. Or track the left knee out towards the left side ribs, external rotation, maybe a little bit of movement. Just being really intuitive here. But then finding stillness. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Closing down through the eyes, and again starting to welcome in some of those deep diaphragmatic or belly breaths. You might close down through the eyes and just bring your awareness to the places in the body where you feel sensation. So often we think that we use the body to get into a yoga pose, but we actually use the pose to get into the body. You might sense or feel the flexion in the front of the left hip or the extension across the front of the right, or that gentle massage for the left side low belly. You might feel the whole length of the spine, root to crown, really supported by the earth here. Welcoming in that grounding support. Just a few more breaths. When you feel complete, you can bend the right knee, bring your foot to the earth, and the left foot comes down to meet the right, both palms to rest on the low belly. And again, just take a moment here to notice any differences or even similarities between right and left side body. And optionally, you are welcome to explore a counter shape. So for today, let's invite in just a bridge pose. You can take your arms down by your sides. Ensure the knees are stacked over top of the ankles. Keep your gaze neutral, look at the ceiling, protect the neck. And then begin to tuck your tailbone under, press into your feet, and just lift your pelvis and your hips up. We'll just stay here for a few rounds of breath. Finding that flexion across the front of the hip flexors, opening up into the front hemisphere of your body. really a nice option after exploring flexion, that fold in the front of the hip creases. You can lift your heels, start to roll the spine all the way back down. You can hug the knees into the chest, tuck your chin, take your hands to your hamstrings, just begin to rock a couple of times forward and back, finding your way back. And so I would love to thank you so much for being here today, for joining me in this experiential asana clinic for Pavanmuktasana, or wind relieving pose. If you have any questions, any comments, any reflections, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. But this is a really beautiful time to come to your journal. You can reflect upon anything that came up for you, or how you feel in the physical body, or how this posture made you feel, and just take some time to notice and to really explore this posture, this yoga asana on its own, before you start to really integrate it into your daily yoga asana practice. Again, my name is Kristyn. I am so honored to be your guide here today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next practice. Have a beautiful day.